What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we are getting back into some more action. You can see there I've made some sales on the trade pile. A lot of bronze items here. I am opening a fair few bronze packs with my coins. They're quite profitable right now. Not crazy profit, but quite profitable. A lot of the English and German players, specifically the left mid, right mid and strikers, sell for 3 to 4, sometimes 500 coins. Obviously the healing and fitness cards do sell, but not for specifically loads. But the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm happy to just keep making the money back, maybe make 100, 200 coins here or there profit, while storing lots of players in the club and getting, you know, unlimited fitness items, which is exactly what we did last year. I did buy a brand new team again, guys. I sold some of the other players. I can't settle on what league I want to go with. There's so many options, and we'll go through them in a second. Before we get into that though, guys, thank you for the support on the video. Last episode and the all three episodes so far. If we could smash another thumbs up, it would be awesome. I believe this is Division 10. I believe this is online right now. Yeah, this is seasons. And funnily enough, before we talk about what teams I want to go into, one of the top comments was from DP1. Says, wonder how long it'll be till we see some online gameplay with like the face, you know, that face. And there was a lot of not as well put comments towards, you know, to the same kind of area. Like DP just asked a simple question, but there was a lot of like snarky, sarky, like just shitty comments about it. Like, oh, is this guy ever going to play online? Like, my road to glory isn't about playing online. It's, you know, I don't base my road to glory around how many games I can fit in online every day. My road to glory is about being efficient with the time that you spend on the account and being able to generate the best team possible through it. And because of squad battles, it actually opens up a really easy way to create a really strong foundation in your club without even having to worry about the struggles of online. And it's actually more efficient financially to play offline right now. With squad battles, I'm playing 4 games per day offline, and then obviously we're completing the daily objectives here and there as well, which is generating some nice revenue through match coins, the coin bonus, and the daily objectives. The bronze pack method is getting me a few coins here or there, which is nice. Buying and selling players just for my teams is generating me some coins, and by playing squad battles, I'm playing against good teams at good difficulties with, you know, by the way of the AI, and I'm really just starting to. It allows me to familiarise myself with the niches within the game. You know, how to use the RB sprint boost, how to use the RB no touch dribble, how to use some of the new techniques that are in the game. I get to familiarise myself with those whilst playing in a less stressful environment. So when I've got a good enough team to go online, which I have now because that's why I'm online, I will do so. So yeah, we get online gameplay now. That being said, guys, I will probably play thousands of games online this year like I did last year, and because of squad battles, I will probably play thousands of games offline this year as well. So expect a lot of games. I think we got like 2,500 games last year on the road to glory, so expect probably somewhere closer to 3,500 to 4,000 games this year. It's going to be a good year, man. My match coins alone are probably going to be in the 4 to 5 million range. It's going to be great. So in terms of new teams, guys, there's so much good stuff in most of the leagues. You know, the Bundesliga, which I've switched to here, has just got some really great players. You know, Bartels, Kreuzer, Bellarabi, Schürrle, Thorgan Hazard, just great players. Gilivigwovi. I've got to learn how to pronounce his name right. I just read it and my mind goes, this isn't a name you can understand. And so I just say the words that come out of my mouth. The defense is okay, a little lacking. You know, it feels like the midfield and attack in Bundesliga has like your top tier players, you know, your Lewandowskis, your Aubameyangs, your Royces, your Robbins, but then it has a really good mid tier before you get to the low tier. But it seems like in defense specifically, you have a really low mid tier, like the mid tier players, the players that cost like 1,000 to 3,000 coins, like Nastasic and Brooks, like Derman and the right back I've got Torjan, I believe. They're not necessarily quality, but the step up from them are expensive. Like Derm, the step up from Derm, I wouldn't even say would be Schmelzer or Wendell. I feel like Derm's on a par with those. The step up from Derm is literally Alaba. and Alaba is just crazy expensive. So the defense is definitely an area that does worry me a little with the team. But as I say, there's so many good teams. We've already tried a Calcio A team. We've already tried a Bundesliga team. We had the makings of a La Liga team. We did build a La Liga team for 1 or 2 games, and I might have actually built it and sold it straight away. But all in all, I think I'm settling for Bundesliga and Premier League. And the reason why I'm settling for Premier League is because of the Player of the Month, Mane. And we're going to get to that in a second. But yeah, I feel like Premier League is just something that is going to be big for me this year again. Because the Premier League has the most overpowered mid-tier players. The Kevin Moraleses, the Wayne Rooneys, the Nemanja Matic, who I think will be fantastic this year, but at 83 rated with no pace, people will turn their nose up at. The Morgan Schneiderlin, in terms of the centre backs, Ogbonna and who else have I got? Ogbonna and Winston Reid, fantastic. Ogbonna is a non-rare, goes for like 400 coins, and he's incredible. So yeah, I think the Premier League is just good cost efficiency, good value for money at the current stage, but I'm not set on a team, that's for sure. As you can see, we've changed teams 4 or 5 times already throughout the first few episodes. I bought that Ander Herrera for cheap, and because of what we packed from a few players here and there and stuff, I'm very happy to stick with the Premier League for now. But because of squad battles and the fact that we don't have to necessarily go with a meta team for squad battles, I will be experimenting with teams this year. So don't worry, we're not going to be like force-fed into a single Premier League team like last year. I'm not going to let that happen this year. I want to experiment and experience a lot of different players instead. By the way, Bartels is fantastic. And just a quick note for some of you guys as well that are, you're suggesting a lot of things that is just not within my means right now. This is episode 4 of the Road to Glory. I've got minimal coins, minimal players, minimal assets. Like the end of last year's Road to Glory, I'd put a lot of time and effort into that account, and that's why I was able to do whatever I want, whenever I wanted, with whatever player I wanted. This time around, we've got to build back up to that. We don't just slot straight into me having millions of coins and the best players in the game. We've got to build back up to that. So hopefully you can understand that, and we'll go forward with that. So, in terms of Mane, there was Optician said, another top comment said, any tips for Mane Player of the Month? I bought 3 Liverpool players, Team of the Week Valbuena, Team of the Week Fabianski. Obviously I want to sell them later. Will I make money? Will you make money? I don't know. But my tips for Player of the Month Mane would be as follows. And by the time you're watching this video, he will probably be out, which means I'm either going to be right or wrong with my tips, and you will know straight away whether I'm right or wrong. Based on what they've done for previous Player of the Months, and based on the fact that this is a new year, so there could potentially be new things, I've invested some of my coins on this Road to Glory. You'll see the investments in a couple of episodes' time, but I'll talk you through now what I think might be wise to invest in. First and foremost, Senegalese players. I feel like it will require a Senegalese team. There's quite a lot of gold Senegalese players that go for like 1,000 coins or less, so they're always a good investment. The problem with the Senegal team is that the goalkeeper and the fullbacks, there are no golds. So the silvers and bronzes are packed so rarely that you're basically going to struggle. You know what I mean? You're going to struggle to get the silver and bronzes for a cheap price. So it might be worth investing in them ASAP. So a Senegal team is one, a Liverpool team is another, obviously because he plays for Liverpool. Then a Premier League team because he plays in the Premier League, so a relatively decent high-rated Premier League team. Then you can invest in clubs that he used to play for, so Red Bull Salzburg, Mainz and Southampton. And then you could invest in clubs that he scored against, so Arsenal, Watford, and Crystal Palace. So I diversified and invested a little bit in all of them. What the requirements were for Raheem Sterling was a Premier League team that was 82 rated, an English team that was 81 rated, and a Man City team that was 81 rated. That was the stipulations. I also feel like they could introduce something that requires an inform. You know, they've given a lot of gold informs, a lot of low-rated informs this year already, just 2 weeks in. So it wouldn't surprise me if an inform was one of the requirements. I don't know what they're going to do, but those sort of areas cover everything you've got. Now, I'm in a position where I've got decent amounts of all of them, but not everything for any of them. So I've got, I've got a full Liverpool team, but it's not super high rated. I've got a full Senegal team, but it's not super high rated. I've got like 4 or 5 Arsenal players, 4 or 5 Watford players, 4 or 5 Southampton players, but not a complete team, because they're never going to do a full Arsenal team, a full Saints team, a full Watford team, a full Salzburg team, a full Mainz team, a full Southampton team, a full Premier League team, a full Liverpool team. They're not going to do all of them. They're only going to do some of those things. So for me personally, that's what I invested in. And I invested at the lowest end prices. So one of 3 things for me is going to happen. Number one, I'm bang on with what I thought was going to be the player of the month requirements for Mane, and I'm going to get him for absolute pennies. Like we're talking dirt cheap. Number 2, I'm right in some of the things that I wanted to invest in, but wrong in some of the others. And so I can maximize the profit from the ones that I'm right in and sell them on. For example, I have a full Senegal team. Suppose EA do a team that requires a 77 rated team with 5 Senegal players. That's going to mean that I've got 6 spare Senegalese players that are now going to be way higher in price that I can sell on for massive profit. So if something like that happens, I'm going to be able to make lots of profit and get Mane for relatively cheap. Or number 3, I'm completely wrong in what I've kind of considered might be the requirements for this Mane. But because I bought all of the players that I bought for such dirt cheap prices, I still don't make a loss. I might not make profit. I might only make a tiny bit of profit, or I might lose out on tax. But worst case scenario, I'm only going to lose like 5 or 10% of my asset value to risk getting this Mane for cheap. Now, I said at the start, the back end of last year and the start of this year, I'm not going to go crazy on SBCs this year. And I still sit here and I feel that. I feel like I'm not going to go out of my way to do as many SBCs as possible, or to do unnecessary SBCs. And so that in tone as well with this Mane, if this Mane is like crazy expensive, but I've got some of the requirements towards him, instead of me spending coins to complete the rest of the requirements, I'll sell the items that I have and just buy a different left winger. So it genuinely depends on what he's worth, what he's valued at, what EA think is a fair thing for people to pay for these SBCs at the start. A lot of people think that you're going to need a Mane. I don't think so. The reason why I don't think so is because as an 84 rated left wing in the Premier League, he is a very rare player right now and a very expensive player. If they made it so that you are required a Mane for one of the SBCs, they are saying to most of their user base, you can't do him. Not because you can't afford him, but because he doesn't exist on the market. And that would stop people from opening packs and they'd lose money on it. So I don't necessarily personally think that Mane is going to be an actual requirement for Player of the Month. Outside of that, guys, the account's in a good stead right now. We've got 20,000 coins in the bank. We've got a couple of good teams. We're working hard on squad battles. I should be able to pick up Elite 1 for squad battles this week, which will give me 40,000 coins and 2 mega packs. And I'll get that in the same time that A, 1 to watches are in packs, so we've got a good chance of packing a 1 to watch, and B, during the time that Mane is a Player of the Month card. So, for example, I have a Liverpool squad, a full Liverpool squad that is 100 chemistry, 79 rated. If EA turn around and make it to be a 180 rated squad, I will need to buy Emre Can is the player that I need to buy and swap out for the silver midfielder that I've got. So I'll waste the 8,000 coins on Emre Can to complete that SBC. So because I've got the coins coming in from squad battles, if I'm like 90% of the way there to Mane, dead cheap, I'll spend a little bit in the extra 10% because I'm still getting him overall considerably cheaper. But if I'm only like 50 or 60% of the way to there to Mane for dead cheap, I'll actually probably just sell all my assets, make a crap ton of coins, and improve the 2 squads that I've got massively. So that's my opinion on that. Next up, we've got Isaac Hooker says, when will 1 to watch come out? A lot of thumbs up on this. They will be released today. Again, by the time you're watching this video, they are probably there. They are probably existing. I assume that they will be out at 6 PM today. So by the time this video goes up at 10 PM, they've most likely been out for 4 hours. There was a thread on Reddit saying that there is a 1 to watch pack in the database of text files. Now that could mean one of two things. That could mean, number one, it could be an SBC that gives a 1 to watch. It could be repeatable or non-repeatable. It could be tradable or untradeable. It might be a situation where EA are like, here, trade in an 83 rated squad and get an untradeable 1 to watch, and it's a one-time thing only. Might be a situation there. Also, it might just be like a special pack, so everyone gets the opportunity to buy 1 pack. Something that I wish they'd do more of. You know how like when they do promo packs of 100k packs or promo packs of 50k packs or 35k packs, why not do promo packs of a 1 to watch pack? So, maybe 50,000 coins for the pack, or maybe 100,000 coins for the pack, or 2,000 FIFA points. You only get 1 per account, you buy the pack, and it gives you a 1 to watch card. I would risk it on my main account, not on my Road to Glory account, of course, but I would definitely risk it, and I'm sure a lot of other people would as well. So, that was that. Then we got a comment from the Smelly Ghost. He says, hey Nep, did you know that from kickoff you can hold left trigger or L2 on PS4 to bring a second player to the centre? You can also pass the ball while the second player is approaching the centre for a quick kickoff. Love your vids. I did know that, but for those of you that didn't, there you go. You also may or may not know that you don't have to pass backwards from the kickoff. You can pass sideways. If you've got a guy on the right-hand side or on the line, you can just pass it straight up to him and then run down the wing if you want to. You're not forced to pass the ball backwards. There are plenty of opportunities. I'll end up losing that game 5-2, guys. I think in the semi-final of the draft. That is right. We built a draft that has nothing to do with Draft to Glory. However, Draft to Glory and Road to Glory are going to be merging together from episode 6 of the Road to Glory. So there's that, which is going to be quite interesting. We got a Jumbo Premium Gold Pack and a Premium Gold Players Pack for losing in the semi-final, which actually isn't such a bad reward. I think due to the consumables and the players that we end up picking up, we're probably going to make our money back, which is nice. We also got a player that did have the boards, and it turned out to be Morgan Schneiderlin. When I saw French CDM, I thought Bakayoko or Kante, please. And it wasn't. It was Morgan Schneiderlin. So that's still a decent player to put into the Premier League squad. Currently, I can't remember who I had in there. It doesn't go for too much, Morgan Schneiderlin, but as 83 rated, if you are required a high-rated Premier League team, an 81 or an 82 rated Premier League team for the Mane Player of the Month, that's a huge card for me. So I'm very, very happy with that. Next comment that I picked out was from Besmir. He says, do you think there will be monthly rewards for squad battles? There aren't monthly rewards for squad battles right now. There is simply only weekly rewards. For those of you that don't know, the weekly rewards are issued Monday morning UK time, 1 AM, as soon as the competition closes. So in that, if you go to squad battles, in the very top right, it will say competition ends in so many days and so many hours. Once that timer runs out, the rewards are issued within 2 or 3 minutes for you for wherever you finished. There aren't at the moment monthly squad battle rewards. I'm hoping though the unreal success of squad battles will convince EA to do a little more with it. I don't think EA thought squad battles would be as successful as it has been. And that's not to say that it will remain successful specifically when Foot Champs is about, but squad battles has taken this entire community by storm. I think initially squad battles was put in for people that weren't able to compete in Foot Champs or didn't have the time to compete in Foot Champs. Squad battles is a reasonable alternative. It's offline, it's spread over a week, and it gives decent rewards for relatively little effort. And specifically to get into even Gold 1 or Elite 3, you don't have to be that great at the game. You just have to play all the games at a level that you're comfortable with, and you'll probably still get to Gold 1 or Elite 3. Obviously there are some people that can't even beat the AI on semi-pro or professional. Those guys might struggle, and they'll probably be the ones that get to, the kind of like Gold 3 areas. But yeah, generally speaking, it's a really good alternative. But what's happened is the competitive side of the community has taken squad battles by storm and absolutely love it. I love it. You love it. Everyone I talk to loves it. I've never seen a group of YouTubers in my Discord call. There's about 10-15 YouTubers that just sit in there and talk to each other and stuff. And usually we play Foot Champs or just chat about FIFA or just chat whilst we're doing things. And this last 10 days, everyone's been spamming squad battles. and I didn't expect it. What will be most interesting is when FUT Champs comes about, how many people are going to stick with squad battles. Sure, they can play the Monday to Friday games very comfortably, you know, 4 games a day, get 20 games in, maybe even be able to finish elite with those 20 games, maybe squeeze a few games in on the weekend to make sure they finish elite, you know, that might be quite easy. But for a lot of people, the 40 games over the Friday, Saturday, Sunday of FUT Champs, and then the 28 games over the Friday, Saturday, Sunday of squad battles, that's 68 games between Friday and Sunday night. That is a lot of games for people to play, especially under the intense pressure that FUT Champs brings. So right now, squad battles has been taken by storm. I don't know if it will remain the same once FUT Champs is out. With that being said though, squad battles has become an insanely popular game mode immediately, and I think EA would be foolish to not utilize an opportunity to just to help themselves and help their community. One thing that I theorized with a few of the guys that I was talking about, although there's not monthly rewards now, and they had no intention of giving out like different colored cards or monthly rewards from what I understood, it would be awesome if they gave out like really scaled down monthly rewards. So for example, top 100 gets 5 red informs, you know, 5 red FUT Champs cards. Elite 1 gets 4, Elite 2 gets 3, Elite 3 gets 2, Gold, all stages of Gold gets 1, and Silver gets none. How awesome would that be? You finish in Gold for the month, sure you only get 1 bonus red card, but it would be a little something for not too much effort, for not too much outlay, and EA aren't giving too much back, you know. So that would be awesome. It would be good if they introduced some kind of monthly rewards, special kits, special badges, special cards. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like they are going to. It doesn't seem like they want to. But like I said, I think the game mode has taken the whole FUT Champions game mode, you know, the whole Ultimate Team kind of franchise by storm. And I personally believe they would be fools to ignore that. So there we go. Will Evans says, "Hey Nep, I don't have a question, so I'll understand if you don't read this out, but I just wanted to let you know that you are my favourite." Oh, sorry, I'm trying to read. I can't read. That this is my favourite FIFA series on YouTube, and I just wanted to say that whatever content you put out, I will never unsubscribe to you. Well, Will Evans, thank you very much. That had a lot of thumbs up. It was one of the top comments. I appreciate your kind words, Will. Very generous of you to say. F&C player says, NepentheZ, why don't you think they added the chemistry style boost to the attribute details to do with attribute cards? It really makes me believe they don't make a difference, even though I want to believe they do. Great content, mate. Keep it up. Well, thank you for the kind words, first of all. You can't take the absence of something as motive to fuel your belief system. If that's the case, they don't show any attributes for goalkeepers, so does that mean that goalkeepers don't exist because they don't show the in-game attributes for them? Of course it doesn't, right? Interestingly enough, I would love to be able to either apply a chem style or hover over a chem style and see what changes it would make to a player's in-game stats. And I tweeted out to EA saying it would be awesome if we saw the the attribute changes when a chem style was applied. And Rob Hodgson, who's obviously a big influencer in the EA scene, works for EA in, I think they're like competitive sports division, he favorited the tweet. So who knows? In the near future, we may see that happen. And again, we've had this debate all last year. I'm sure we'll have this debate all this year. But I am absolutely certain, I believe that chem styles work. I believe the chemistry system works as it's meant to. I don't believe in scripting, handicap or momentum. And just generally speaking, I believe a lot of the issues with people are either them not being as good as they think they are, or the game just being broken in certain areas. You know, goalkeepers are broken. Defense right now people are struggling with. Long shots seem broken. Low drivens are overpowered. When you combine a lot of things together and it conspires against you, you have a feeling of, the game cheating you, when I don't think that's the case. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.